All right, well, let's get on with it. You know, for one of the first shows that I'm doing, coming back for this CD, it's really nice to be so close to the audience. I used to live on the stage, when I did poetry slam, but it's been a few years since I've actually performed in front of a live audience, so the anticipation level was high, which forced me to just practice all the time. So I felt good because I was well practiced, but I was very nervous. Very nervous. Up until the part, where you actually are up there, then somehow the nerves just float away. When you're doing it live, you get to have the reaction of the crowd. You get to feel the intensity. I mean, from poem to poem, at first it looked like it felt that people really didn't know what to expect. They were like, we didn't, a lot of people, they had heard it, and they kind of felt the intensity. But from each poem, the intensity level just rose and rose. You could feel it crystallized. You could feel the tenseness in the air, and that's what I would really. It's my goal. My work is not happy-go-lucky. We can go and chill type of work. It's really intense. So when I can get the crowd to that point where they're feeling we're connected in that intensity and that fire that we're burning, then I feel as though there is a connection, and that's the connection I long for. Young boys go hunting for virgins amidst a den of temptress. You can keep your virgins, give me the whores. Hold on, stop right there. I want you to feel that for a moment. Young boys go hunting for virgins amidst a den of temptress. You can keep your virgins, give me the whores. Okay. Timothy, it was very hard to do Timothy because, most of the times by the time it comes out, like I might write a CD or a song or a poem, and by the time it's actually being performed or released, it may be years. So that wound is kind of healed, and I'm just able to, bear that. But Timothy, I had just literally wrote it 2 weeks ago, and I made the music playing. Timothy is playing now. I had just written the music 2 weeks ago, so that wound is still fresh for me, and that was very difficult because while on one hand it's artistic and it's for you artistic, for me, I knew Timothy, They found him 2 days later. They say he died, and they found him 2 days later. He was laying on the bed, covered in his own sick. In his hand was a broken glass pipe. I feel like the poem is an homage to Timothy. It's like, as long as people are hearing his story and hearing his work, then he didn't die for nothing. He died so that other people could identify with, that. People are like, why don't you become a rapper or a singer? And I'm not really the best singer, but I could probably do it. But I wanted to remain in this genre, poetry, and show that poetry, straight poetry, like what I did tonight was straight poetry. There's no chaser, no straw, straight, pure poetry. Has as much dance as anything else. And I hope that... like Bukowski always said, it's not because I'm so good, but I will eventually pass it on to someone else who will be so much better. So, I hope that I can push the idea that poetry has dance, and poetry has feeling, emotion that can't be captured in any other thing.